Ну и просто топ. Сейчас покажем вам. Сейчас на прогрузочку. Ай. Долго загрузка. Давай. Чемпион Brawl Stars. Сюда вводим. И вот сюда заходим. Просто тоже есть. Я уже скин забрал на тару. Вот. Пока что победили Нави. Это в чем? Короче. Вот сейчас загрузится. Сейчас. Вот сам мем, вот он. Мема лучше всех, просто-напросто. Топчик он будет.
Bring up last year too much because I'm sure when they watch back the VOD it might be that switch. You'll hear about it. No thumbs down here today, but nonetheless, that's the start that you want to have at the World Finals. You really want to come in and make your mark. It gives you that confidence going into the second. It's a tough spot for Navi. This is a LAN experience which they're not used to having. So being behind now is going to mean they're going to have that little bit of time to have those team talks to discuss what they need to change going in to dueling Beatles.
Yeah, really curious. Looking at the stage here, of course, MMA still there. Navi have surplus players, of course. It's a 4-player roster for this team. On the side of Tribe, obviously Corey definitely stepping more into that coach analytical role, supporting that team, leveraging his leadership ability. Straight away, Penny's going to be locked away. Pretty popular pick here.
Navi really love to run Penny. I remember my first conversation with them regarding draft, and they took it a little bit personal. But Penny here can do some great and wondrous things. The bans on the side of Tribe being Poco, I think, are smart. Banning Poco against Tribe, against Navi, you have to do that. You really do. The Stu as well, getting rid of some aggression, and of course Buster. We know full well what that can achieve. Janet going to come in for Tribe, gaming NA. Some great value for it, and B as well to back it up, just in the eventuality that Navi bring in some tanks, which they are known to do.
Yeah, take a great all-rounder first here with Janet. Start to sculpt your draft a little bit with something a little bit longer range. The B obviously great. Hunting elastic can be such a problem, especially if you're able to push up and you have the advantage. And then you can round it out. You can kind of see what Navi go for. Now at least you have the chance to sort of preempt that last pick, the wacky one, right? As a Colt was locked in earlier on by Navi. Tribe maybe prefer to be in this position now. Obviously, we sort of mentioned a couple of times, we've seen a little bit of Buster here, but he's just not something that Tribe want to deal with. Bell, though, is on the table and snapped up.
And I really do like that pick. Bell now with the reload gear coming into play is just a real force to be reckoned with. The nest eggs as well onto the zone can deter you and take away valuable time that you just simply do not have in dueling Beatles. It's quite a tough one. Crow coming in for Navi. It's daring. It's kind of dropped a little bit away from the meta, but obviously with the slowing toxin, it is going to allow for those Bell and Penny shots to land the mark and just get that all-important value in.
Especially if you're in a scenario where you have to retake, right?
Yeah,
and the defending team has to expose themselves to your Crow to some degree. The slowing toxins can be pretty straightforward to hit. Now, it's not an all-in, composition after the fact, but like you mentioned, slow targets are easy meat for Cubic and MMA on those picks. Round trying to be knocked in here. Corey sat on the bench like, that could be me, bro.
Also with the slowing toxin, that Penny turret is going to land more shots during that time as well. So I hope that whoever's playing it on the side of Navi just time that perfectly. But Sprout can really just shut everything down here. With the lack of wall break, which Navi have gone in and taken a bit of a risk with, I think that Levy, if he's on that Sprout, or whoever it is going to get a ton of value. And do get to really just shut off most of the map here. But you've got to earn it and just keep it cycling in, and that can sometimes be challenging.
So the right first steps have been taken by Tribe NA, but there still needs to be a conversion on the series. MMA will be trying to man the middle part of the map here as Tyrant, as we expected, attends.
As Livy, of course, as well. You notice here that Tribe aren't really spreading out into a lane to have to deal with Cubic. They're really trying to opt out of going one-to-one with him for the time being. MMA is starting to get aggressive, posturing forward, but he's punished instantly by a hedge behind, and Zulan chimes in from the right. Amplified shot for Zulan. Oh, what a connection. Angel Boy now has damaged gear, but no HP to really contest the situation. Tyrant, and there's Livy coming through and just positioning himself forward, and Cubic now have to be very, very cautious. That's the cypher you want, looking at MMA, but actually, it does mean that it doesn't quite get the total coverage that they need. Drop the base, so frustrated to deal with when you've got no choice but to stand in it and not be able to get healed up. Zulan now starting to get a bit comfortable here. MMA slowed up, the Iron Hive, and the shot to follow is good. Cubic has to sheepishly back up as Tribe start to lay it on even thicker. Angel Boy and MMA return. We definitely need to see some value from this Crow. Yeah, it's really a bit of a struggle so far. Tyrant, though, thinking about going in, surely. MMA is low here, and Cubic. Angel Boy coming through. Best stick there in the mid, and that's not a bad thing for sure, but now, as Livy needs to get some value, he needs to get some takedowns here to really relieve some pressure. That's a good start. Tyrant behind the situation as well is going to keep some pressure on here. The comeback potential here, spot on. What a retake from Tribe. Love that. Tyrant being absolutely obnoxious in the backline, him requiring Navi to commit 2 players in order to remove him. That opens the way for Tribe to move up onto the hot zone and start ticking up once more. Iron Hive doesn't connect, but the empowered shot does. Zulan in a very comfortable spot now. Penta's going to force Navi back, and it's 86 and counting for the time being. MMA wants to push up here. Now looking for a flank, but as Livy is keeping him under the thumb for the entire round. Tyrant shots are coming in, and it's a trade at best for MMA. Not what he's looking for. Tyrant now wants to try and extricate himself from the situation as Cubic and Angel Boy are looking imperious on the point. Well, I think the Tribe, they can just get a little bit here and there. It's only 11% needed for a takedown there from Zulan just to relieve a little bit of pressure. But Navi have done a wondrous job so far. Now the Penny turret's starting to connect in for 3% now, and Tyrant with a lovely takedown will take the game. Navi are getting beaten in the middle of the map for a second set in a row. Really struggling to take control of that hot zone out of that sort of one instance, as Livy is an absolute menace on this sprout. It's a great first final pick, isn't it? It really is, and Navi are struggling with it. Just maybe could have gone in with something else to free things up. Oh, the value of that. Cubic left on 30 HP, and now everyone able to focus their attention on both Angel Boy and Cubic. Tyrant goes down, but that ball is just going to keep cycling in as Livy is getting so much value from this sprout. And some free time on the point there, obviously, after that hedge came out. Now is Livy a bit more of a vulnerable position, but Tyrant chimes in instantly. And Angel Boy has tried to make a lane swap here to find a better angle. But Zulan has eluded him thus far. Oh my! Dropped the base, actually almost claiming the life there of that Velvet. Navi going to have Angel Boy sit in the bleachers for the time being, to return only when 2 of his teammates are down. This is devastating for Navi. Tyrant is being a tyrant right now, isn't he? He's forcing Navi to the right-hand side into the path and the firing range of Zulan. He has a super, he gets that connection, the missed mark. Angel Boy is going to be costly too. Penny Tyrant not going to connect as everyone on the side of Tribe keeping themselves moving. And now almost 20% left, and this set is Tribe's. Cubic trying to move up here. But again, at best it's a 2v3 for Navi for much of the round. Always lacking that one player, and Angel Boy again eats another one from Zulan, dominating the right side lane. Tyrant's going to fly away in celebration as Tribe rack up another one. It is looking like a red day so far. No sign, really, of any black and yellow. Going into this next set, Navi are going to have to start to make some changes. Their drafts at the moment for me is where that starts, and just kind of not foreseeing what is to come, you know, and keeping their options open a little bit. Some risky ideas. At the moment, I don't mind risk as long as it starts to pay off. It's been a tumultuous year for this Navi team, right? I mean, think about their situation just in many of their personal lives at the start of the year and in the last few months, and then obviously coming into the EMEA region a little late, sort of having to play catch up with everybody else, getting wins against SK, Team Kaizo, Chazmak EU in the Snapdragon Challenge recently. This team is a high caliber powerhouse. The fact is they're not able to show it against the best from NA and LATAM North. Tribe Gaming, of course, came second in the Season 1 of Snapdragon Pro Series. They didn't quite qualify for Season 2 this time around for those challenge finals. Look at there, as Livy 9 to the 6 and the 6 of Tyrant and Zulan, but on the side of Navi, just one singular takedown for MMA, one singular takedown for Cubic, and Angel Boy was doing a lot of those heavy lifting there. I just worry a little bit for Navi at this stage. We haven't really seen enough resolve so far, and Tribe's confidence now is just kind of growing and growing.
Look, don't blame MMA, personally, for not racking up a ton of those kills. He definitely wants to facilitate with that slowing Toxin, but even when he wants to commit, when he wants to dive in with that swoop, he's getting blown up instantly. Maybe not being able to read the room as well as he'd like to, or just get a feel for just how much damage Tribe can output here. But this is last chance saloon. Navi have one more opportunity to show us what they're made of. They're going home.
Going into sneaky fields then, and this is a Navi map really, and a Navi game mode. It's going to cater a lot to some tanks, some heal, no max ban as well, no Poco ban. Ash is a good one though for Tribe and bringing in the M's. I mean, it's a very underrated pick, but that mid lane is going to be under so much control, and it is susceptible to barrel rolls and that kind of thing, but it can also hold those things at bay. So I do like where this is heading so far from Tribe. It's a nice, safe, early kind of pick, and I think Navi, though, have got a lot of options here. Ultimately, I would go with the Max myself.
I mean, even among Brawl Ball maps, Sneaky Fields is pretty unique, right? Just for the amount of foliage that sort of envelops it here. So for that reason, we've seen a lot of brawlers sort of cater to that. Maybe Amber to try and sort of remove some of that. Buster got through the ban phase. Navi snap pick him up.
Yeah, right. It's rightly so, isn't it? It's just this comp is starting to speak Navi to me already, and that gives me some confidence. If they combine this with Poco, then Tribe could be in with a bit of trouble. I mean,
here's a question for you.
Counter.
Does Montage reflect Ems' spray?
Good question, actually. Yeah.
It should. Right?
It should do. Yeah, it's only a throwers at 10 to, so yep. It's still early days, of course, with Buster, but yeah, it should do.
Keep an eye out for that one. And Gale's interesting. We've seen Gale get really punished when he's picked early in the order, when he falls down a lot of those sort of more ranged brawlers. But this is the kind of map where tough to have that kind of success. It also means that there's like a preemptive answer to tanks. And also if Ems wants to try and come up with that caustic charisma and actually start to put some pressure down. What is the Lou?
Yeah.
Sorry?
It's a great counter to Buster. It is. North America and LATAM North have kind of been the first region that I've watched really start to tackle the Buster problem. And it was very interesting to watch just a couple of weeks ago when I saw it, but it actually did make a lot of sense. And Tribe Gaming an A just demonstrating just how on the ball they are when it comes to how to handle a really tough brawler like Buster. But it is a very strange comp, from Tribe. There's not much to kind of have in terms of synergy, but Ruffs could be the answer to that question. Just having some support there to keep everyone packing that punch.
I will say, pretty darn close range composition here for Navi. So Ruffs definitely, must feel pretty decent for Tribe, give them more of an opportunity to keep Navi at arm's length. And big question for me is, what is this last pick here? What do we go for here? Cubic and Angel Boy obviously already locking in. Not sure where Alex is. He's looking on from the sidelines for the time being. What do we have here now? Max,
there you go. Love it. Yeah, absolutely so. I mean, Buster is already a very nerve-wracking thing to see coming straight towards you down that right or left-hand side lane. Having Max add that to the mix, and you are really going to be in a tough spot. And in a game mode like Brawl Ball, that is going to provide so much aggression. Navi are all about that. We've yet to kind of see that from them today, and that's why I've been a bit worried.